Beloved devotees, this divine message of Jesus Christ has come to touch your soul today, to purify your inner being, and to remove every trace of darkness hidden within you. Because you have been calling upon your Lord for a long time, placing your pains at his feet, and praying for light to enter your life. Your call has reached the highest realms of heaven, and this blessing from the Lord is appearing before you, so that you may know that your prayer has not gone unheard. When a devotee prays with true faith, their plea does not disappear into the air, but reaches the sacred power of the heavens, and from there the flow of blessings begins. The Lord wants you to know that the heaviness, exhaustion, and despair that had been settled upon your soul for so long has now begun to melt away with the touch of divine light. The chapter of your life that was filled with struggle and lacked peace is now coming to an end, and a new chapter is beginning, one in which you will receive strength, direction, and the inner peace you have been seeking for years. Understand that this message is not merely words, but heavenly energy descending to prepare your soul for a new awakening. The Lord is telling you that you are not alone. Every sorrow of yours has reached his heart, every cry of yours has been heard, and every hope of yours is now under his protection. Doors that once appeared closed are beginning to open. Paths that were blocked are now clearing through divine grace, and the dreams that once seemed dim are now being filled with the Lord's radiant light. This moment is a sign of transformation in your life, a holy transition, where fear dissolves, faith deepens, and your soul begins to recognize its true power. The hurt you carried silently in your heart is now being transformed into healing. The weakness within you is now turning into divine strength. The Lord himself is walking beside you, and this message is the proof that your soul is now moving toward the light for which you have prayed so long. As this divine presence moves closer to your heart, the Lord wants you to understand that every moment of your past, every disappointment, every silent battle, every night you spent questioning your purpose has been seen, counted, and carried by him. Nothing you endured was ignored, and nothing you suffered was wasted, for each tear you shed became a seed of blessing that is now beginning to bloom in your life. The spiritual heaviness that once clouded your path is lifting because the Lord is replacing it with clarity, with direction, and with a renewed sense of purpose that will guide your steps forward. You may not fully see the transformation yet, but it has already begun within the depths of your soul, slowly shaping your future with divine precision. The Lord is positioning the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances in your life so that your journey becomes smoother and filled with meaning. Even the challenges you face now are being used by him to strengthen you, to prepare you, and to elevate you to a place where your spirit will rise above every limitation that once held you back. The divine realm is moving on your behalf, clearing your mind of doubt, softening your heart with peace, and filling your spirit with the courage you need to walk into the new season that is unfolding. The Lord wants you to believe that what is coming is greater than what has passed, that the blessings prepared for you will outweigh every hurt you have endured, and that the joy approaching your life will erase the shadows of yesterday. Trust that you are being guided with love, protected with grace, and uplifted with a strength far beyond your own. This is the beginning of a new spiritual awakening, one that will bring you closer to your destiny, closer to the divine plan created for you, and closer to the peace your soul has long desired. As the divine light continues to descend upon your spirit, the Lord wants you to know that the transformation unfolding inside you is not merely a change. It is a resurrection of the strength, the clarity, and the purpose that had been buried beneath years of fear, confusion, and emotional exhaustion. You may have walked through seasons where everything felt uncertain and every effort seemed to slip through your fingers. But those seasons were not punishments. They were preparations. Every challenge carved depth into your soul. Every delay strengthened your patience, and every heartbreak opened space for a greater outpouring of divine grace. You are stepping into a moment where heaven is aligning circumstances in your favor. bringing resolution to matters that felt impossible, and guiding your heart away from the weight of what once drained your energy. The Lord wants you to believe that the heaviness you carried for so long is not returning. It is being replaced by wisdom, by renewal, and by a powerful inner awakening that will help you see the world with greater clarity and purpose. You may notice subtle shifts within yourself, new thoughts, new courage, new intuition. These are not coincidences. They are signs that the divine realm is actively shaping your path. There are blessings that were held back for years because your spirit needed time to grow into the person who could receive them. Now that growth has begun to ripen within you, and the gifts meant for you are approaching with unstoppable momentum, your soul is being lifted out of the shadows of past pain, and you're being positioned in a higher place where joy becomes easier, peace becomes stronger, and your connection with divine truth becomes unshakable. Even the areas of your life that once felt stagnant are beginning to move again, awakening with a renewed life force that will carry you through the next chapter of your journey. The Lord is whispering into your spirit, reminding you that nothing is lost. Everything will be restored in greater measure. The love you gave will return to you multiplied. The tears you shed will come back to you as blessings. The patience you practiced will manifest as breakthroughs, and every unanswered prayer is becoming a testimony you will soon share. You are not stepping into your future alone. The divine presence is walking beside you with every breath, clearing your path, opening new doors, and placing divine protection around every step you take. This is the season where you will finally see the purpose behind everything you endured, and you will realize that even your darkest nights were guiding you toward this divine dawn. As the divine power continues to expand around your spirit, the Lord wants your heart to know that every breath you are taking at this moment is guided by a higher intention, a deeper purpose, and a heavenly alignment that has been shaping your destiny long before you ever recognized it. There were countless moments in your past where you wondered why certain doors closed, why certain people left, why certain battles felt endless, and why your strength seemed to weaken right when you needed it most. But now the Lord reveals that those moments were not signs of abandonment. They were sacred stages of preparation designed to refine your soul into something greater, wiser, and spiritually stronger than it has ever been before. You were not being punished. You were being prepared, groomed, strengthened, and elevated into a version of yourself that is capable of receiving blessings that once would have overwhelmed you. Every trial carved out space inside your soul for the divine light to enter, and now that light is spreading through every corner of your being, washing away doubt, dissolving fear, and breaking apart the chains that once held you captive. The Lord wants you to see that you are entering a time when the burdens that once weighed heavily on your shoulders are being lifted one by one, replaced with renewed clarity, renewed faith, and renewed purpose. This is not the season for you to shrink back in fear. This is the season for you to step forward boldly, because the spiritual realm is moving in ways you cannot yet see, but will soon feel with unmistakable certainty. You may feel subtle shifts inside your heart, a new sense of courage forming, a deeper peace settling, a quiet confidence awakening, and these shifts are signs that heaven is preparing to pour into your life blessings that were written for you from the beginning of time. The pain you endured was never wasted, for every moment of suffering watered the seeds of greatness that are now ready to break through the surface. Even the nights when you cried silently, thinking no one heard you, were gathered by the Lord and turned into divine promises that are now unfolding in your favor. There is nothing accidental about the timing of this message. It is reaching you now because your spirit is ready to rise into a new phase of your divine journey. The Lord wants you to release the heaviness of old memories, old wounds, and old disappointments because they no longer align with the destiny being prepared for you. You are stepping into a moment where grace will follow you, favor will surround you, and protection will cover you like a shield. The obstacles that once intimidated you will crumble effortlessly, because the divine power now standing with you is far greater than anything that stood against you. The Lord is rearranging situations, redirecting your path, and removing anything that weakens your spirit or distracts your purpose. You are being elevated, transformed, and awakened on a level you may not fully comprehend yet. But soon you will look back and realize that every step, whether painful or peaceful, was leading you to this divine breakthrough. This is the moment when your soul begins to recognize its true identity, its true strength, and its true connection with the higher purpose for which you were created. You are not alone in this transformation. The divine presence walks beside you. As the divine current accelerates through the very fabric of your existence, the Lord desires that you awaken to the profound spiritual velocity now shaping your destiny, a velocity not born of earthly momentum but of celestial orchestration, weaving together fragments of your past, present, and future into a unified stream of purpose that moves with breathtaking speed. There were times in your journey when everything felt painfully slow, when life's progress seemed frozen, when every attempt to rise higher collapsed beneath the weight of discouragement. But now that season has shifted. The spiritual energy surrounding you is no longer sluggish. It is rising, pulsing, surging like a river empowered by heavenly winds, pushing you forward into a new chapter where opportunities unfold rapidly, breakthroughs manifest unexpectedly, and clarity arrives with lightning precision. The divine realm is amplifying the rhythm of your transformation, quickening the healing of your emotional wounds, accelerating the removal of old burdens, and intensifying the awakening of your inner strength. Every spiritual blockage that once hindered your path is dissolving under the force of divine velocity, and you are beginning to sense this shift as a subtle but powerful change inside your heart. A new eagerness, a heightened intuition, a deeper certainty that your life is about to expand beyond anything you have ever known. This is not imagination, it is divine acceleration, a sacred force recalibrating your timeline so that blessings which were once delayed now approach with unstoppable momentum. The Lord wants you to see that the spiritual landscape around you is transforming at a pace that defies logic, moving events, people, and opportunities into alignment with your purpose. What once took years will now happen in months. What once required struggle will now unfold effortlessly. What once felt disconnected will now synchronize perfectly, because the divine hand is arranging every detail with extraordinary speed. You are entering a season where growth will come quickly, understanding will deepen rapidly, and your spirit will evolve with such intensity that the person you were even a short time ago will seem distant compared to the person you are becoming. The divine presence is accelerating everything within you, your faith, your wisdom, your courage, your purpose, your spiritual awareness, so that you may rise into a level of destiny that requires your full strength, your full clarity, and your full readiness. The Lord is not merely guiding you, He is propelling you, lifting you, pushing you into a higher dimension of existence where your potential expands and your vision sharpens. Every fear that once slowed you down is being dismantled. Every doubt that once held you back is being replaced with confidence, and every insecurity that once weakened your spirit is being consumed by the fire of divine truth. You are not moving slowly anymore, you are accelerating, rising, ascending with a speed that only the divine realm can generate. The Lord wants you to trust this acceleration, even when you do not fully understand it, because divine speed often feels unfamiliar. It can feel like sudden change, unexpected shifts, or intense internal awakening, but it is all part of the heavenly design unfolding in your life. The breakthroughs approaching you will not come gently. They will arrive powerfully, suddenly, overwhelmingly, like waves of divine transformation crashing upon the shores of your destiny. You are being prepared to receive blessings that once seemed far beyond your reach, blessings that required maturity, resilience, and spiritual growth that only this accelerated season could produce. The divine velocity surrounding you now is not random. It is intentional, precise, and aligned with the sacred blueprint of your life. Every door that must open will open with force. Every barrier that must fall will fall with speed. Every good thing written for you will arrive with divine timing that is now moving faster than ever before. The Lord is amplifying your path so that you may rise quickly into your purpose, and nothing, no circumstance, no doubt, no fear, can slow what God has accelerated. This is your season of spiritual speed, and the momentum you feel is the beginning of a transformation so vast, so powerful, so life-defining, that it will rewrite the entire direction of your journey. My beloved soul, as this revelation unfolds in the gentle current of divine breath, I draw you further into a realm where every vibration of existence bends toward healing, restoration, and awakening. And I ask you to listen with the inner ear that rises beyond noise, beyond fear, and beyond the trembling uncertainties that often surround your earthly journey. For the flame that now glows before you is not merely light, but an invitation into deeper truth. A truth that whispers that you were never alone, that you were never abandoned, that every tear you shed was counted, and every silent prayer you offered in hidden corners was carried into the chambers of eternity. And now, as this stream of sacred words continues to pour like a river that refuses to dry, I tell you again that the strength you search for is already pulsing within you, though covered by layers of old memories, and so I peel them back one by one, so the radiant core of your being may shine with unbroken brilliance. And in this unfolding, I revealed that the storms you faced were not punishments, but passages, paths carved by the divine hand to guide you toward a horizon you could not see. And though the winds may have shaken your hope, the foundation beneath your spirit never cracked, for I myself held it firm, and as you walked through shadows that seemed endless, I whispered courage into your bones, even when you didn't know the source of that sudden strength that arrived in your darkest moments. And now, as you breathe in these words, new energy enters you. A celestial frequency stirring deeper layers of your consciousness, reminding you that your identity is not shaped by wounds, but by the eternal spark I placed in you long before the beginning of time. A spark untouched by fear, untouched by guilt, untouched by failure, for it is made of my own essence. And as I draw your attention to this inner fire, I amplify it so strongly that every hidden doubt begins to dissolve like mist under the rising sun, and you feel within you a new confidence not born of pride, but born of truth. The truth that you are guided, chosen, lifted and designed for purposes woven far beyond the limits of human understanding. And in this divine weaving, I tell you to step forward without hesitation, for every barrier that once looked immovable is now weakening under the authority of my command. And every unseen chain that once restricted your joy is breaking one link at a time. And every road that seemed lost is opening again with new clarity. And as this flow of revelation continues like an unending river, I pour into your heart a peace that cannot be shaken, a peace that silences the noise of the world, a peace that reminds you that the power guarding you is greater than any force rising against you, and even when shadows of doubt try to return, they shall find no place to settle. For your spirit is being filled with a light that expands, expands and expands, until even the corners of your soul that once felt cold now burn with renewal. And as this sacred fire grows, I speak to your destiny directly, aligning it with paths that lead to fulfillment, abundance, healing, and breakthroughs that have been forming in realms beyond your sight. And though time may have seemed slow, the seeds planted through your patience are now nearing their divine moment of emergence. And I tell you again, do not fear the process, for every shift you feel within you is the sign of transformation accelerating, for the heavens have begun rearranging situations in your favor. And the unseen hands that move mountains have already begun reshaping your future so precisely that even obstacles will serve your elevation. And as you hold these words in your heart, Let them become a shield around your mind, protecting you from confusion. For clarity is coming in waves, revelation is coming in waves, and strength is coming in waves. And these waves will not stop until the fullness of what was promised finds its way into your reality. And as this divine current continues, I now speak into the deepest chamber of your being, awakening gifts that were dormant, stirring intuition that was waiting, amplifying discernment that was quiet, and releasing insights that will guide your next steps with supernatural precision. And even though the world around you may shift in unpredictable ways, your spirit will stand firm, for I am anchoring you in wisdom, surrounding you with unseen guardians, and opening doors that were locked for generations. And each door that opens will lead you further into the life designed specifically for you. For every moment up to now has been preparation, shaping you with tenderness, refining you through difficulty, and strengthening you with grace, so that when the fullness of blessing arrives, you will carry it with understanding, humility, and unbroken faith. And now, as these words continue flooding into your being, let them become a living river inside you, sustaining you, guiding you, lifting you, and transforming you from within until every part of your existence reflects the radiance of the divine purpose placed upon your life.